Thank you, everybody. It's a thrill to join you today in this very important celebration. I had the opportunity this morning at Mount Airy Baptist Church in Bridgeport, Connecticut, to hear a talk by Reverend Peter Reeves, who had preached at the East End Baptist Church, and who had marched with Reverend Dr. King from Selma to Birmingham, and who had stood in Washington to hear that I Have a Dream speech. And the Reverend reminded us that Dr. King is best known for helping erase the blot that was on this country in the 50s and the 60s, where this country failed to abide by its founding creed of equality to all, and he fought against the segregation of the schools and the restaurants and the buses and the fountains of the South. But he reminded us that Dr. King stood for far more than that. That he stood for justice for all people, and that this is what he had dedicated his life to. And I wonder if Dr. King, instead of being gunned down in Memphis in 1968, were here with us today, what he might think. He would probably be happy about his country. He would certainly be happy that in what might have been his lifetime, we have an African American sitting in the White House. But I suspect that he would also put a burden on us to continue his legacy, because there is so much yet to be done, as we've heard. I think he would say that as long as there is violence against children and our youth in Stanford and Norwalk and Bridgeport, where they are gunned down, his work and our work is not done. I think he would say that as long as a child born in Stanford into poverty does not have the same opportunity as a child born into wealth in New Canaan or Darien or Greenwich, his work and our work is not done. And I think he would say that as long as we are spending billions and billions of dollars building nations in Asia, but not building bridges and schools in Stanford, his work and our work is not done. Eugene spoke of bitterness, and these are tough times. One might be forgiven for being discouraged and bitter, but I want to share with you the thing that Dr. King has said that is most powerful to me and it sustains me, particularly in these tough times. It was at the start of that march from Birmingham to Selma, and he stood on the side of the Edmund Pettit's Bridge, that steel arc reaching across that hot southern river, and he didn't know what was on the other side. It had been a difficult time for the civil rights movement. There had been threats on his life. His people were subject to fire hoses and dogs and people like Bull Connor. And Dr. King, with that steel arc rising behind him, spoke of another arc. He said the arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends towards justice. It's up to us, in the legacy of Dr. King, to help bend that arc towards justice. Thank you for doing so.